Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, we're going to react to Death by Selfie, A Brief History. Death by selfie? I mean, the only way this is even possible, I think, is probably to either put yourself in a situation where, either you're really high up in the air or you're like standing on like a train track or something, somewhere that you really shouldn't be, just to like prove that you were there. Like either way, it's just not worth it. Like, yeah, you might get some internet points, you might get some pats on the back, but is it worth risking your life? Death by selfie. I mean, what the
On the
heck?
19th of August, 1839, a new technology was introduced to the world.
Camera.
During a presentation to the Academy of Sciences, French scientist Dominique Francois Arago introduced the daguerreotype, a brand new means of capturing lifelike images of a quality that far outstripped anything which had come before. Later that year, an American photographer used this invention to take a photograph of himself, the first recorded example of something that would much later become known as a selfie. In the early years of photography, as the process was developed by different inventors, photographs of people were relatively rare. The long exposure times required for early photographs meant that they lent themselves much better to capturing static objects, although some early photographs do feature distinguishable people. By the turn of the century, photographic technology had significantly improved. Sometime around 1900, an anonymous woman took what might be the first self-portrait using a mirror. The image survives to this day, although we know almost nothing else about her. Thereafter, as cameras became cheaper and more accessible, and photographs became a familiar and accepted part of culture, the practice of taking self-portraits became increasingly more common. A significant jump in the popularity of the selfie came in the early 2000s. It was around this time that portable cell phones began to incorporate cameras.
Cameras, yeah.
With the first
I remember like the cameras used to be so bad, but like at the time it was like just incredible that you could have a camera in your phone. Oh my God,
first front-facing cameras appearing in 2003.
Yeah.
These allowed users to take much better self-portraits as, unlike with other devices, they would be able to see exactly what was in shot. By 2002, the word selfie was in common usage. The first recorded instance of its use in a written form was on an internet forum in 2002. A man named Nathan Hope was posting on the forum to ask for advice regarding dissolving stitches that had been used on an injury he sustained following a drunken fall. He shared a picture of himself, and when asked for more detail, he wrote, "Drunk at a mate's 21st, I tripped and landed lip first, with front teeth coming a very close second, on a set of steps. I had a hole about 1 centimetre long right through my bottom lip. And sorry about the focus. It was a selfie."
Wow. How do we know he's the first person though? Like, is there a way to even find that out?
A little more than a decade later, in 2013, the word was in such common usage that it was added to the Oxford English Dictionary. By this time, as social media became more and more popular, many people had begun to enjoy sharing dramatic and interesting selfies. One of the first instances of someone losing their life while attempting to take a selfie took place on the 31st of May 2014. It was just after midnight when 29-year-old amateur pilot Amritpal Singh took off in his Cessna 150 two-seater aircraft from Front Range Airport in Adams County, Colorado. With him was one passenger, 31-year-old Jatinder Singh, a musician who was in town for a concert, to whom Amritpal had offered a free sightseeing trip in his fixed-wing, single-engine plane. Shortly after takeoff, Amritpal lost control of the aircraft.
God.
It stalled and then crashed into an open field beside a road, but was not discovered for nearly 6 hours. By the time police did locate the wreckage, both men had passed away from injuries sustained in the crash.
But why didn't they jump out of the plane. Like, didn't they have parachutes? As soon as Amrit lost control, it's time to get out of there.
A GoPro camera and mobile phones recovered from the wreckage informed the subsequent investigation. It became clear from GoPro footage of previous flights that Amritpal would often spend time at the controls of the plane, taking pictures of himself or his passengers, including taking pictures with the flash while flying at night, and taking pictures during the plane's initial takeoff. The GoPro video did not cover the fatal flight, but investigators were able to find no other reason why Amritpal, who had over 700 flight hours and appropriate training to respond to in-flight stalls, would have lost control in the manner observed. Their conclusion was that an ongoing distraction, most likely the taking of photographs, had caused him to lose track of the plane's position and orientation, and then lose control of the plane.
Terrible. I get it, you want to capture the moment, but dude, you're flying a plane. Concentrate. Rest in peace.
On the 9th of August 2015, 32-year-old David Lopez joined his friends for a trip to the town of Vilaseca de la Sagra, one of many towns across Spain that takes part in the annual tradition of the running of the bulls.
Pamplona.
This yearly event usually takes the form of a race through the streets, with participants running ahead of a herd of bulls.
Super dangerous.
In many cases, the bulls are taunted or neglected before their release in order to ensure that the chase is an exciting one. David and his friends did not join the bull run as participants, but instead merely went to watch. However, late in the day, David noticed a bull lying stunned on the ground after a collision with another bull. He slipped through a protective fence and approached the animal in order to take a picture with it. While he attempted to do so, however, another bull approached him at speed and severely injured him with its horns.
Oh, God. Gored.
David was rushed to hospital, but did not survive. Injuries and deaths during the bull run are relatively common, but this was one of the few occasions when a spectator had been killed, rather than a participant.
Yeah, if you're curious, go on Google, type in Pamplona videos or bull run videos. Some of the injuries are just horrific. The people taunting the bulls that get injured, I'm sorry, I have very little sympathy from me, but because some of the stuff that they do to the bulls is quite cruel.
On the 9th of October 2015, Belgian tourist Françoise Guillaume and her husband visited the world-famous El Tatio geothermal field in Chile. Located in the Andes Mountains, this field is the third largest of its kind in the world and features numerous extremely active geysers, hot springs, and mineral formations. Its beautiful and alien-looking landscape is a huge attraction for visitors from all parts of the world. The field is, like most geothermal fields, also quite dangerous. Some natural hot springs form pools of water that reach temperatures of 85 degrees Celsius or 185 degrees Fahrenheit. In places, these may be covered by only a thin layer of rock, which might easily be broken by the weight of someone walking atop it.
Wow.
Françoise wanted to take a picture of herself in front of a particularly powerful geyser. She approached the site and stood with her back to the fountain of water, with her camera phone in one hand. When the geyser next erupted, she was startled by the ferocity of it, and accidentally stepped backwards, plunging into a pool of nearly boiling water.
Oh my God.
She was quickly pulled from the water by her husband, with serious burns over most of her body. Though she was airlifted to a specialist hospital, she was unable to recover from the injuries she sustained, and passed away at dawn the next morning.
Oh my word. That's got to be one of the worst ways to go. Just extreme heat. Imagine that. Agony.
On the 8th of November 2017, 26-year-old influencer Wu Yongning visited the Huyan International Center in Changsha, China. He made his way up to the highest point he could reach before climbing up the outside of the building for a further 20 floors, until he was approximately 62 stories above the ground. He was there to film himself performing several stunts on precarious parts of the tower. Wu had been climbing buildings, cranes, and other tall structures for several years now, and quite apart from enjoying the adrenaline rush of doing so, he had found the activity to be immensely lucrative.
Ugh.
His dramatic photographs...
This is just crazy. What are you doing? Where's the harness? No safety harness or nothing.
Often taken while he dangled from ledges or lay on the edge of huge drops, attracted tens of thousands of followers on social media, and even several sponsorship deals.
Sponsorship
this
deals?
Climb, he hoped, would win him 100,000 yuan, around £11,000 or $13,000, in a photography competition. It was money that he very much needed, as he planned to propose to his girlfriend the next day and would need money for the wedding, as well as to pay expensive medical bills on behalf of his mother, who was seriously unwell. Having reached a suitable height, Wu set up his camera and attempted to perform a stunt where he hung from the edge of the building and performed several pull-ups.
This is wild.
It was something he had done many times before in different settings. On this occasion, he completed the pull-ups with only slight difficulty, but then struggled to climb back over the ledge, before losing his grip and falling to his death.
My God.
His body was later found by a window cleaner on a ledge about 45 stories below. His girlfriend confirmed his death on social media a month later, to the sadness and dismay of his many thousands of fans.
I feel so bad. Like, he's trying to make money to pay for his mum's medical bills, I hear that and I can't feel, too angry. I mean, I am angry because there's other ways that you can earn money, but that's just tragic, isn't it? 45-story fall.
In each of these cases, the desire for a dramatic and interesting self-portrait, or the distraction caused by trying to get a perfect shot, resulted in an untimely death. By some measures, worldwide, more than one person a week now dies in an accident related to taking a picture of themselves.
Wow, one a week.
By drowning, by falling from height, by being attacked by an animal they have ventured too close to. It's a legacy that the first people to photograph themselves more than 100 years ago could never have imagined.
Crazy. Wow. I mean, that's left me a little bit shell-shocked, honestly. The last guy, the guy from China, Wu, it seems like, do you reckon he had that thrill-seeker nature in him, and then he started climbing those buildings, started earning money, and then that's when he was doing it for the money? Or do you think it was purely for the money? Because if it was the latter, I have a lot of sympathy there, because, he's trying to pay for his mum's medical bills, who's really sick. Maybe the jobs that he was able to get didn't pay enough for him to cover those bills. Maybe, I don't know what the public healthcare system in China is like. Just, there's something very tragic about that, and that fall, 45 stories, that is a huge, huge drop. Like that is just, he was in the air for a long, long time. You just got to hope that it was quick, if you know what I mean. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.